Hey everybody, it's Biggie. Welcome to Biggie's Auto. So today we're working on the 2003 Dodge Ram 1500. Wheel bearing went south on the passenger front. So to give you a look here what we got. So we already took the wheel off, obviously. So what we need to gonna have to do is remove the caliper, the mounting bracket for your brake caliper, and we're gonna have to loosen this up. And from what I understand, there's 3 bolts that come from the inside that hold the actual wheel hub bearing assembly in there. The only thing I'm trying not to do, and I don't have good light. You see where the tie rod is there. I'm trying not to remove that. And a lot of people that do them remove that. I'm trying not to because I don't want to mess up the wheel alignment. Even though we're not changing it, still taking it apart, putting it together could change the wheel alignment. If I need to, I have both wheels off the ground so I can turn it with the steering wheel where I need to go. So that's the one thing I'm going to try not to do is take that apart. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up here and we're going to tear into this thing. Alright guys, so first thing we're going to do is you're going to need 13 millimeter to get your brake calipers off. So I went ahead and I got them loose. So make sure you don't lose these. We're going to go ahead and lay them here. Let me find where the other one is. Again, that one's kind of tight yet. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take our 13 millimeter and we're going to back that out the rest of the way. Now this also would be a good time, since you're taking this off, to look at your brake lining to see how it is, if that needs to be replaced or not. So we're going to check that out as well after we get this loose. Okay, so try and get that out of the way for now. You don't want that hanging on the brake hose somehow. And this doesn't look too healthy here, so that might be something we have to address, is the brake issue. Alright, so we'll pull these out as well. And I thought somewhere here, well, I didn't bring here we go. So we'll take these off for now. Yeah, those don't look too healthy there. They're getting down there. So it might be something we'll have to look into. And of course, this is gonna give me a hard time. So we'll somehow have to pinch it in there. So we'll go ahead and we'll remove these brake pads. They're in there pretty good, unfortunately. What we'll do is we have them loose, and we're going to have to take this bracket off. So I'm going to leave that in there. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead, we're going to remove, you're going to need a 20 millimeter socket here for the 2 bolts. I don't know if I can show you exactly. Let me get my flashlight. I apologize. So, yeah, it's not gonna work real well here. I don't know if you can see. There's 1 bolt, and then down here is the other bolt. So they're at the top and the bottom of your bracket. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove these. And your bracket will come off. So we're going to lay that down here, and your rotor comes right off. We'll inspect that later. So here is what we're up against. I'm trying to show you. I mean, obviously you have, there's a bolt there, a bolt on that side, and let's see here, and a bolt in there. So now our next trick's going to be finding it from the back side to put those out. First thing we're going to do though, and I have to look where I put it, I had some penetrating oil. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to spray these with penetrating oil and let that sit for a couple minutes, and then we're going to try and get those loose. Alright guys, you can tell by how I'm out of breath. We got the old unit out of the truck. It was a ball buster, I ain't gonna lie. So basically what you have to do, you have this nut which goes here, screws onto there. That's gonna be a 36 millimeter. Do yourself a favor before you start this job. Go out to the tool place and get yourself a 36 millimeter socket if you don't have one. Your back here, these bolts, the 3 bolts that are back here, are 19 millimeter. I highly recommend using a universal joint and a shallow 19 millimeter socket with an extension to get in there, so you have clearance. So as you can see, there's our 4-wheel drive shaft. Here's our spindle. You see where the 3 bolts come through to bolt that up, and there's our hub. So at this point, as you can tell, I'm freaking pretty beat up, but we're gonna see. I'm going to clean this up. We're going to get the... Oh, I also forgot to tell you. You're going to have this piece here for your ABS. It is a... I forget. I'm not doing so good to show you here because my arm's in the light. It's a Torx... Where, let me find my socket. Here. You're going to need one of these Torx bit deals. It is a, it looks like a 5, is that 5 millimeter maybe? Allen, I'm sorry, it's an Allen. So, what I'm going to do, this is going to bolt into your new hub. So we got to make sure we don't lose that. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit and get the new hub, start bolting it in there, and then we'll see how that goes. But this is, like I said, here's for your 4-wheel drive. I didn't have to take the tie rod end off. I turned the steering wheel, locked the lock, and I was able to get it all 3 bolts. So that way we don't have to mess up the wheel alignment on the truck. So it can be done. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. When I come back, hopefully we'll have the new unit in there. Alright guys, so we're back. I got cleaned up in there. It's hard to see. The lighting is terrible, but did go in there, the wire wheel. We got our new unit right here. Now remember, we took that out I didn't realize it comes with that ABS already in there. So I unplugged it from the truck back there. So now we got to remember where that's orientated. So take your wire and you'll see a cutout. Let's see if I can get the light. Right here. There's a cutout right there where the wire is going to go. So go ahead and I'm just going to just drop it on the other side there. And I did put grease on the inside of the wheel hub. I'm not putting it in dry. You can see there's grease in there. So don't put it there dry. Now is going to be the tricky part of getting it on the shaft. And then you realize that it's not lined up. So it's a little bit of a trick. Turn it a little bit. Let's try it. I'm a tooth off. There. Right about there. It's on. So now what I'm gonna do is take our nut that we had before, and we're gonna go ahead and start that on there. And we have to find where our 30s, you know, it's a big socket, 36 millimeter. It's huge. You don't think you'd lose it, but you do. But luckily we found it. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just get it started for now. So what I'm gonna do now is go on the back side here. And we're going to work on getting these bolts in so we can pull that tight. So at this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a break here with the camera. I'm going to get the 3 bolts tight. I'm going to try running this in. And when I come back, hopefully we're at a spot where we can continue and maybe get the brakes back on in the tire. All right, guys, as you can tell, I'm out of breath. We got the nut on. We got these bolts tight. The 3, let me see if I can, there it is, that one down there. I know my lighting isn't trailing. Let me see this one here. So we got them 3 tight on the back side. We got the nut tight that holds your half shaft for the 4-wheel drive. So this is basically done on there. Our next step's going to be, we put the brake pads on, the brake bracket, the pads, and then ready to put the tire on. All right, guys, Biggie. Well, there it is. It's all done. We got our brakes on, 13 millimeter, 21 millimeter for the bracket, 13 for the caliper. Everything's all tight. The rotor's on, pads are on, the old junky one. So I should replace the brake pads. I'm hoping I can get another week out of them. I'm going to do a video on replacing brake pads on this at another time. Anyway, this is Big E. That's all for today, other than putting a wheel on. I'm beat up. It is a physical job, but well worth saving on yourself a huge labor bill. Anyway, like and subscribe, leave a comment. Anyway, watch out for each other, take care of each other. We'll see you next time right here on Big E's. Bye for now.